guys, welcome to our very first video lecture about the Federalists and Anti-Federalists. So what we're going to do here is you're going to watch this video online over the weekend and you're going to fill out this study guide as we go on. As we go along, you're going to fill this study guide out. You're going to bring to class on Monday. On Monday, we'll go over some of the main points about it, and then you're going to have an activity that kind of goes along with the Federalists and the Anti-Federalists and what they believe in. So, pay attention to the video, fill this out, and let's do it. Let's have some fun. Okay? Get into the beliefs of the Federalists and Anti-Federalists. It's important to go back and review a little of the main concepts we talked about in class. For example, we need to discuss the Constitutional Convention real quick. The Constitutional Convention met in Philadelphia to rework the Articles of Confederation. We now know that we did rework them. We created a constitution. A constitution with a strong central government, with states still having some rights. We have a balance of power. We have 3 branches of government. And that's what we created. We also created a Congress where we have a Senate, where each state has 2 representatives, so we have equal representation in the Senate. And we have a House of Representatives, where representation is based on population. You get 1 representative for every 30,000 people. So, that came out of the Constitutional Convention, and that was put in. And during the Constitutional Convention, 2 sides kind of emerged. We haven't ratified this yet, and ratifying was a formal approval. So after the Constitutional Convention, we needed to campaign the states to sign this Constitution into law. So, when you campaign, you kind of need to have 2 sides of something. So we had the Federalists and we have the Anti-Federalists. The Federalists were the people who believed in the Constitution. They believed that this was the best document. They believed that this is what needs to happen in America. They believed that a strong central government is only going to bring prosperity. And the Federalists consisted of James Madison, George Washington, Alexander Hamilton, and John Jay. They were all Federalists. They all pushed for this Constitution because they wanted this strong central government, something that can, protect the citizens. On the other side, you have the Anti-Federalists, people like Patrick Henry and Richard Henry Lee, people who were opposed to a strong central government because they were reminded of Britain. They were reminded of everything we fought against, and you can kind of see they don't want to bring that to this country. So we have that too. So we have Patrick Henry and Richard Henry Lee saying, hey, a strong central government is going to take away our individual liberties, our individual freedoms. John Locke said our 3 natural rights are life, liberty, and property. Those are going to be gone with this Constitution, they thought. So what they did was both sides campaigned the states. They campaigned throughout the states trying to get the Constitution ratified or not ratified. The Anti-Federalists did not want the Constitution ratified, while the Federalists did. The Federalists were more active campaigners. They were in every state. They were really campaigning heavy. They were like, hey, if you sign this document, this is what's going to happen. You're going to be protected. You're going to be this, blah, 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 blah. The Anti-Federalists were like, no, you don't want this. You don't want a strong central government. You don't want, a government taking away your liberties that we fought against. So they're fighting back and forth all over this whole thing. And what eventually happened was the Federalists won support. They won support from Delaware, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Georgia, and Connecticut. So they're on a roll. But they still need more states to ratify it before this Constitution can be law. And the other states, they're kind of on the fence. They're kind of with the Anti-Federalists. They're saying, hey, we get the strong central government. We understand that. But we don't want our individual liberties to go by. We want our personal freedoms. We need our freedoms that we won against Britain. And they're like, Federalists are like, oh, okay. So they come to a deal. The Federalists said, hey, if you guys sign this Constitution and make the Constitution the new national law, the new national Constitution, that we will put in a Bill of Rights at the end of it. A Bill of Rights that, you know, in writing, it shows you every right you have in this country. It shows you that you have freedom of religion, that you have freedom of speech, that you have the freedom of protest, and all that. You have all that. We'll put that in there so these freedoms, so you know that these freedoms cannot be taken away from you. And we're going to talk about the Bill of Rights more in depth in a little bit later on. But that's what they promised. So after they promised that, the Federalists and Anti-Federalists kind of came together. And Massachusetts, South Carolina, New Hampshire, Virginia, and New York all signed on for this Constitution. And the Constitution was officially ratified. And the Constitution was officially put into law in the United States, creating three branches of government, creating a checks and balances system, creating a strong central government authority. So was that good? Well, see us today. We're still under the Constitution. We're still living this. So is this a good society we live in? I think so. So that's where the Federalists and Anti-Federalists were. Federalists supported the Constitution, supported a strong central government. Anti-Federalists didn't. They supported a small government. They were afraid that a large government was going to take away our liberties and take away our freedoms. So that was the difference between the two, and that's what they are. So don't forget to bring your study guide to class on Monday. I believe we went over everything on it. Yes, we did. So make sure to bring this Monday. Monday we'll have an activity we'll go over. We'll go over some of these questions. We have a little activity about the Federalists and Anti-Federalists where you're going to analyze maybe a primary source. And then we'll get into a Bill of Rights after that.